Hello and welcome to Value Chain TV News Update. I am Kabir Lawal with the news. And on the Value Chain TV News Update, the Nigerian Labour Congress NLC has suspended its two-day nationwide protest. Value Chain TV had earlier reported that the NLC had declared a two-day nation mass protest for 27 and 28 of February over the economic hardship confronting millions of Nigerians since the removal of petroleum subsidy in May 2023. However, in a communique at the end of its National Executive Council meeting on Tuesday, the NLC said the objective of the protests were achieved on the first day of the demonstration and hereby extend the 7-day ultimatum by another 7 days, which now expires on the 13th of March 2024, within which the government is expected to implement all the earlier agreements and other demands presented. Some Nigerians shared their opinions with Value Chain TV on the matter.
It's because of hunger that we are here, and we have passed through what is called crucible for us to be here today. They say we should not come here, but we are here. If there's anybody sent to disrupt us with hungry day, that is why we are here. So we are united on it.
Personally, I'm not happy that the strike couldn't reach even 2 days. And the NLC is supposed to be the mouthpiece of the masses, because we cannot go to government and agitate or tell them what we are suffering. So we depended on them to be able to carry us and present our situation to the government. But every time they call on strike, we are going to have a peaceful protest. It will not last more than a day. Sometimes it will be aborted even before the day. So that's why I said personally I'm not happy. I thought that this one, considering the situation we are now, at least these 2 days notice should have been carried to the full. So the government will know that people are suffering.
I feel the NLC have done well in airing what is happening, though it is not everybody that can come out to do such a thing, but they've tried to show the government that there is hunger everywhere, you understand? And for the very first time, when they did that protest, before they used to block them in entering the National Assembly, but I saw how the place was just free for them, you understand? All the agencies supported them. Even in Lagos, I saw where policemen were giving water, giving biscuit to people that are protesting. That means everybody is feeling it and they want the government to know what is happening around the people.
Energy ministers at the 7th Nigerian International Energy Summit have stressed the need for innovative strategies for sustainable growth in the Nigerian and African energy sectors. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Eniken Lokwebiri, said he aims to allocate idle oil wells to capable entities to boost production without politicizing the process. His counterpart, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekperike Epo, said he anticipates a significant increase in gas flow, with 20 pending projects nearing final investment decision FID, potentially adding 4.6 trillion cubic feet per day to production. He assured of collaboration with the Senior Special Assistant to President on Energy, Olu Vehigen, towards revising production sharing contract terms to encourage non-associated gas exploration. On his part, the Namibian Minister of Mines and Energy, Tom Alwendo, also acknowledged the need for collaborative strategies, stressing the importance of intra-African cooperation for sustainable growth, particularly in local content development. The Group Chief Executive Officer of NMPC Limited, Mr. Melekiari, has emphasized the significance of showcasing industry potentials, adding that exhibition will play a vital role in uniting various stakeholders in the oil and gas sector. Kiari said this during the opening of the exhibition stands at the ongoing Nigerian International Energy Summit NIES 2024. The NMPC Limited board was part of a group of dignitaries at the opening, which included the Minister of Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekperike Epo, and Minister of Petroleum Resources, Oil, Eniken Lokwebiri. The Secretary General of the African Petroleum Producers Organization, APO, Omar Farouk Ibrahim, has revealed plans of the organization to create more petroleum training institutes across African countries to offer more support for the region. Farouk made this known in an exclusive interview with Valuchain TV at the ongoing Nigerian International Energy Summit NIES 2024 at the Abuja International Conference Center, ICC.
For this year, Apple looks forward to this takeoff of the Africa Energy Bank, an institution that we believe will fill the gap that the decision of the countries on whom we have been depending for funding our oil and gas projects to leave the industry, particularly in Africa. So the Africa Energy Bank will become operational by the middle of this year, and we look forward to it being able to provide the necessary funds for energy projects on the African continent, particularly oil and gas projects.
The Apple boss urged African countries to unite and create synergy that will enable the oil and gas sector to thrive and reduce dependency on the developed countries.
Why it doesn't make sense for individual African countries to go out searching for solutions to common problems? Why don't they come together to do this? And that's exactly what we are doing. That same body advised on the need to establish a forum of directors of training, research, innovation and development institutions in Africa. And we have had 2 meetings already, and the third is going to be in Nigeria, I believe on April 13 or so. There is now greater understanding in Africa that the salvation of the continent lies in the hands of Africans. But individually, as countries, that salvation cannot come to them. They need to put their hands and resources together. And that's exactly what Apple is championing, and we are confident that we are on the right path.
He added that since inception in 1987, Apple has maintained a cordial relationship with other organizations in the oil and gas sector.
Apple was established in 1987 in Nigeria, in Lagos. And for the first 30-something years, collaboration or cooperation has been limited to ministerial meetings, meeting of experts. But after the reform of Apple, a reform that was informed by the global paradigm shift away from fossil fuels to renewable energies, which is euphemistically called the energy transition, we came to the conclusion that, look, if you really want to make progress in the African oil and gas industry, there is no country that can make that progress all by itself. We needed greater cooperation and collaboration, not just in policy making, but also in operations. And as a result, we established some very important technical forums.
The Nigerian International Energy Summit NIES provided a platform for diverse exhibitors to present pioneering technological enterprise solutions. Speaking with Valuchain TV, Business Development Officer of Fonte Integrated Business Limited, Engineer Martins Erabo, highlighted their groundbreaking technology aimed at alleviating the challenges with petrol motor spirit PMS.
This is a new technology that will go a long way to help to reduce the inconveniences of the situation we're facing on PMS. Basically, we all know that PMS is very expensive now, and a lot of people are having issues with the fact that they cannot be able to run on PMS with the business due to the high cost of diesel and for to run their facilities. So at this point, it goes a long way for us to come up with this new innovation to introduce to the public, for every one of us to understand that we can still as well have a lot to do to save ourselves all this stress and inconveniences of cost.
Fonte's solution involves converting traditional fuel systems by installing a compressed natural gas CNG cylinder behind commercial tricycles, retaining the original fuel mechanism while transitioning to gas-powered operation.
CNG is a compressed natural gas cylinder being mounted behind the keke napep here, and this was a conversion that was just done barely 2 days ago. And as it is a system designed for this device to run on gas. So at this point, it is expected that the system that came with the original system that came with this keke napep was the fueling system. So we came up with the idea that we can be able to convert from PMS to gas.
According to Engineer Erabo, the CNG system has an installed capacity of 30 kilograms compressed gas, which can cover 100 kilometers when filled 80% capacity.
For the rating of the capacity, here we have is 30 kg, right? And we have 80%, we have 150 kilometers to be covered if you haven't filled this to about 80%. So you cannot go beyond 80% because there must be a room for tolerance when you are infusing gas into the system.
The governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Olayemi Cardoso, has said that over 10 trillion naira intervention funds approved by Apex Bank caused severe damage to the country's economy. Cardoso stated this during a press briefing after a 2-day monitoring policy committee's meeting. The committee, after its 2-day meeting, raised the monetary policy rate MPR by 400 basis points from 18.75% to 22.75% in order to combat the rising inflation in the country. Adaobi Ogujiofo has the details.
Cardoso lamented that if the 10 trillion naira had been effectively utilized, it would have done much good to the economy, noting that the Apex Bank under his administration had moved away from granting interventions. He said that Nigerians were concerned about the surging inflation and relative influence on price stability, and that CBN would do everything possible to fight the monsters distorting the Nigerian economy. The CBN boss maintained that the bank would no longer be involved directly in interventions, but would rather partner with entities that could handle them, assuring that the Apex Bank was doing all within its power to monitor and recover the intervention monies damaging the economy. For Value Chain TV, Adaobi Ogwejo reporting.
And that ends the Value Chain TV news update. I am Kabir Lawal. Thanks for watching.